Hello there. In this video I just want to take a look at the whole question of influence and persuasion. How do you get people to move from a fixed position? How do you persuade them? How do you get them to do what you want them to do? Clearly this is very, very important in all walks of life, but particularly so in relation to business. So if you're in business, obviously you're looking to persuade somebody to buy something from you, be it a product or a service, or you might be looking to persuade them to sign up for your newsletter on your website or take some other action. But the bottom line is the psychology of influence, the psychology of behavior, the psychology of making people change from their existing position to your position and to see the world the way that you see it and to accept your viewpoint is a very, very important one. I mean, we all seek to influence, persuade in our daily lives, and if you're a lawyer, for example, and you go to court, you're looking to persuade the judge that your version of events or your client's version of events is more plausible than the prosecution's, and so on. It's the same when you're selling anything, and it's the same on your website if you're going to ask people to sign up for your newsletter or take any action. There is a seminal book called Influence. It's the Psychology of Persuasion, written by a man called Dr. Robert Cialdini. And in this he distills 60 or 35 years of rigorous evidence-based research along with a 3-year program of study on what moves people to change behaviour. This book is a seminal book in the whole area of influence and behaviour, and if you are in business or even if you're not in business but you need to persuade people or influence people about your worldview or any viewpoint at all, or to take any specific action, this book is well worth having a look at. It looks at sets out 6 general universal principles of persuasion, of influence, since man walked the earth first. And if we have a look at them, it's quite a detailed book, but the very, very first principle is the principle of reciprocation. This basically means that if I do a favour for you or do something good for you, I'm going to create a sense of obligation. You're going to feel that you owe me. And people will, on a day-to-day basis, say, when you do them a good turn or whatever, I owe you one. This is a very, very powerful tool of persuasion, of influence, and you can influence a huge amount of people, particularly people who might become your customers or clients, leads, by giving them something for free. And you might give them great information, for example, on your website. You might give them a free report, you might give them a video or two, you might give them, a ticket to a football match or whatever. But if you do something for somebody, the principle of reciprocation kicks in and they feel obliged to do something for you, and they will return the favour. Another principle is to do with social proof. Social proof is basically people following other people because of I don't think it's a herd instinct as such, but I mean, everybody likes to have the most popular car, the most fashionable handbag, the most fashionable shoes, and so on. And people don't want to be associated with loners or people who are isolated or people who are perceived to be losers. So if you land on a Facebook page, for example, for a business, and the page has 5 or 6 fans, then from the point of view of social proof, that business has a problem, because anybody coming to the page, no matter how good it is, are going to look at the 5 or 6 fans and they're going to say, I just wonder how authoritative this person or this business actually is. However, if you come to a Facebook page or website where you've got 10,000 or 20,000 fans, then clearly you're going to form the impression or form the view that all of these people cannot be wrong, that this guy or this girl knows what they're talking about. So whether it's in accounting or in law or in any type of business, if there's 10 or 20,000 fans versus 5 or 6, that's the question of, or that's the principle of social proof at work. A third principle, and there are 6 in total, a third principle is one of authority. People like and look up to authority figures, and there is a huge amount of research to show that people wearing uniforms, for example, and people wearing white coats and so on, have a certain degree of authority simply because of the uniform or the mode of dress that they wear. And that's why you'll see a lot of the time robes in courts. You'll see doctors wearing white tunics or white coats and so on and so forth. But people do recognize uniforms, they do recognize authority. And if you can become an authority in your business or in your industry, then you will be a serious influencer, and you will be able to move people's behaviour and persuade them that what you're selling them or the service that you can provide is of special value. There are 6 principles. I have written about these principles. I've summarised them actually on my website businessandlegal.ie or on my website smallbusinesslawireland.com. But either way, I would recommend that you pick up the book for yourself. It's Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Dr. Robert Cialdini, and I would strongly recommend it. I'll put a link in the underneath the video here, a link to the book on Amazon, and you can have a look at it yourself, or you can just read my summary on my website businessandlegal.ie. Just do a search for Cialdini, that's Cialdini. I hope you find this useful.